Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Zishan Isaac with Zishan on air on 95.1 FM and 1460 AM, broadcasting live within Houston, Greater Houston area, and then also all over the world through social media. I welcome everyone here. I can see people are joining, especially on Facebook Live as well as YouTube Live. And please connect with us. So, first of all, let's start with our key topics today. And then I will also share some very good information that will help some people in terms of if they are sending money all over the world internationally. So you can use some of these very specific offers that I will share with you. And also our sponsors and gate advertisers right here with Zishan on here. So without further ado, the first information is with regards to the information all the way from Pakistan, and this is reported in the New York Times as well as in many international news organizations. And we will discuss this in Urdu and Hindi later in today's broadcast. Thousands defy Pakistan crackdown to rally for Imran Khan's release. Imran Khan is the former ex-prime minister, obviously, and we'll discuss more in terms of what happened, what's going on. The New York Times reported here, as you can see, those who are watching me live on social media. U.S. urges restraint on both sides in Pakistan protest. That was reported by the State Department as well, and in Barron's online and traditional, I would say, news organization. Pakistan Army told to shoot on sight as protests can turn deadly. And then I will share what happened here. The Rangers and the Pakistan Army, they were called in by the current Pakistani government. And then they brought everyone in, and then they left. And obviously, as you can tell, this is very interesting because then the police and the security force and the Rangers, they opened fire, direct fire on people. They say rubber bullets, no, even some direct fire that basically was open. And I'm sharing some information here, did a lot of research. So this is where even some of the very controversial people in Pakistani politics also were raising some red flags. In fact, their own political career has been marred with a lot of distrust and people who also consider them as corrupt politicians. But just to give you an idea, Maulana Fazlur Rahman, Mahmood Achakzai, Akhtar Mangal, he's somewhere in between, but still a lot of people consider him as not really someone who can be trusted, because that's the trust deficit that people of Pakistan right now are facing, because they do not trust anyone. And even Jamaat Islami, who never win any seats, or even if they win a single seat, which is member of parliament, like us here in the U.S. House of Representatives. And then some of the other news journalists, as well as the other independent news sources, especially like Hamid Mir, and then another person, Matiullah Jan, who was covering the news story, investigative journalism with regards to how many people were dead. There are reports from 6 all the way to 278 by Sardar Latif Khosa, who is with PTI, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, Pakistan Justice Movement. This is the same party who basically is facing the crackdown by Pakistan authorities for more than 2 years, and their founder and leader, Mr. Imran Khan, is still in jail. He's very popular, obviously, with the masses of Pakistan, even more popular than he was as a PM, Prime Minister of Pakistan. Imran Khan supporters breach lockdown. Pakistan's capitalist protests turned deadly. And then this was obviously reported in the Time magazine. And then here in the same magazine, it's reported that 6 people have died in protests related violence in the capital, Islamabad. Remember, the capital belongs to everyone, all provinces, all territories, what have you. And I will share some more information about that as well, because they, when I say they, meaning the protesters, and they came all the way from many provinces. Majority, they were from the KPK province. But they also came from other provinces like Punjab and Sindh. These are the 2 major provinces, and even Balochistan and some other areas. Gilgit-Baltistan and some other territories like Azad Kashmir, which obviously India considers as disputed territory, but they even came from there. So that's also something that has a lot of people talking about this whole situation. Imran Khan on his own social media, which is obviously managed and maintained by their social media team, PTI's team, they listed these names. And as I'm sharing this online, about 12 people are reported dead, according to the Imran Khan's own website, social media, I would say, on Facebook. And then these are some of the pictures that people who are watching me live, and if you are listening, you can also connect with me on Facebook, on YouTube live as well, Zishan on air, and then on Facebook, Zishan Ishaq. So these are some of the other pictures where you can see all these vehicles that were literally destroyed by the security forces, and people they actually just left these vehicles, and no one leaves these vehicles because these are very expensive vehicles when you consider the completely broken down and a very poor economy for the masses in Pakistan. So anyone leaving their key assets, especially a vehicle, and these were transport vehicles as well behind, you can tell that what actually happened. So I will tell you a little bit what happened. So this protest basically was called by Mr. Imran Khan. His wife, Bushra Bibi, she led this protest along with the chief minister. Consider him in US politics as like a governor of one of the provinces. Like we have states here, over there they have provinces. So Mr. Gandapur, Ali Amin Gandapur, and Bushra Bibi, the wife of ex-Prime Minister of Pakistan, said that she is not going to leave the entire protest until she basically make sure that the release of Imran Khan happens by the authorities. And remember, Imran Khan has been in jail for more than a year on cooked up charges. Most of these charges have been dropped by the Islamabad High Court and other courts. He's facing more than 150 cases, and even 60 plus US congressmen and women have also wrote letters to our current President Biden. Obviously, all these protests and letters are falling on deaf ears. No one is actually paying any attention to what's happening in Pakistan. It's really sad because it's a country of 250 million people, one of the top 10 largest countries in the world in terms of population. Another key important fact of Pakistan is it's the only country in the Muslim world that has nuclear weapons as well. So leaving this kind of a US ally for 7 decades, US basically has always been an ally of Pakistan during the Afghan war, or Afghan jihad as they called it, with the Soviet Union. And in 1991, when the Soviet Union collapsed, then the Taliban, they came back, same people who basically were fighting this holy war or jihad against the Soviet Union. They are the same people. They basically are now known as Taliban, and Taliban means students, and they are the ones who are actually ruling Afghanistan. But there's also this trust deficit between the Afghans and Pakistanis, because during Musharraf's era, Musharraf obviously agreed to this war on terror. And then remember, these people are tribal people. They have very strong values, and they always have this sort of revenge mindset for generations. So Afghans, they do not consider Pakistan as their ally. They are the neighbors, but they were like, okay, what did you guys do? And then Musharraf in his own book wrote very openly that we received, Musharraf and the Pakistani government at that time received millions of dollars for arresting people and handing them over to us, to US, and some were innocent and some were not so innocent. And this is another the interesting relationship that the Pakistani establishment has with the US. And I shouldn't say US establishment, because obviously there is establishment, but also there are different administrations that also come into US politics, especially in power every 4 years. So the system is different. So we got to keep that in mind. But that's the story. And then not only that, before I move on to Ukraine and also what's happening right here in our own backyard, in our own country, one of the senator, Mr. Faisal Wara, he is a current senator, and he also said that he wants to save the lives of Imran Khan, but he also made some very dangerous, I would say, dangerous allegations, because he is saying that he thinks that Imran Khan's life is in danger. And he also said that when Imran Khan has agreed to Sanjiani area, which is actually an area which is in Islamabad, where the sit-in protest should have been continued, and Mr. Imran Khan from prison agreed to it, because they sent three people from the party of Imran Khan and flew them in a jet or private jet to the jail. Imagine, this is the jail where Imran Khan has been kept in prison and pretty much in isolation as well for more than a year. And for past several days, they're not even allowing his party members or even his attorneys that they can meet with him. So that also is creating a lot of conspiracy as well, because if you don't going to have any kind of a communication with this very strong person from the prison who is leading or having these protests, and his wife is carrying those protests, it's mind-boggling, right? That you got to make sure that why don't you release him on bail and then let the people decide on their own. But remember, this is Pakistan. This is where, unfortunately, the country is facing unprecedented crackdown, unprecedented attack on civilians. And according to some reports, even 900 people are reported dead. And Mr. Matiullah Jan, he is actually an investigative journalist. He also reported 28 bodies that basically were brought to, or even more, to two hospitals. One is PIMS, they call it, in Islamabad, and the other one is Poly Clinic or Poly Hospital. So another important thing is a senior journalist and this reporter that I'm quoting, Mr. Matiullah Jan, he reported that he actually initially reported 5 dead bodies. That's when he was picked up and abducted by security forces. He has been now released, but again, all the cover-up actually happened, because even some doctors on condition of anonymity has told to BBC and other Western news organizations as well, by remaining anonymous, that they have never conducted so many surgeries in one night. So this is definitely very, very sad, and at the same time also interesting in terms of the kind of revolution that people across all these boundaries, they put up all these containers. Remember, these containers are the ones that we see on, I would say, freight. These are freights, or these huge containers that we see during all these imports that we get in our own country from overseas on cargo ships. So imagine how big are those, right? So they basically stack them up one by one, so people cannot even reach the capital. Then Mr. Hamid Mir, he's a very senior journalist, and a lot of people know him. He has reported that he personally has seen Tahir Abbas Tarar. He is from Mandi Bahauddin, and one of the Tehsil, one village area. And he said that he saw his dead body, and this person was with him. And there's another, his name is Shafiq as well. And Tahir Abbas Tarar is from Mandi Bahauddin. And then another person, Shafiq, he mentioned, who basically is the one who was praying because he basically wanted to send gratitude and say thanks to God. And he was praying on top of the container when the authorities literally pushed him over, and he was taken by his supporters and friends, not to a hospital, because they were afraid that if his name is going to show up in any kind of registry at the hospital, then he will be abducted by security forces. So that's the kind of brutal crackdown that Pakistanis, I'm sorry to say, I'm literally understanding this as craziness that they are seeing over there. And then what happened to the ulama karam, meaning the religious scholars, right? Because this country is supposed to be a Muslim country. So they are completely silent. And this is another problem that people in most of these countries are facing, and especially in Pakistan, that whenever these kind of crackdowns happen from the state, the scholars or the so-called preachers, they go silent. They are completely muted. So imagine their own credibility, because they basically are not standing up for is speaking truth to the power, and don't even expect that. So Mufti Taqi Usmani, he is considered as the highest religious authority appointed by the Islamic Ideology Council. In Urdu, they say Islami Nazariyati Council. And this man is also completely silent. And these are the same people who, in fact, labeled VPN as something un-Islamic. So they put a ban on VPN, imagine, because they think that some people, and how do they know that some people are even using this to watch porn or going to these websites? Imagine the kind of mindset that these folks have, unfortunately. But these are the scholars in Pakistan, unfortunately. And another important information, and we'll continue this in Urdu and Hindi as well, is happening in Syria. Over 6 million have fled, and they have become refugees in this 13-year-old civil war that is happening in Syria. And now Aleppo has basically fallen back to the rebels, and 500,000 people are dead in Syria. No one is talking about Syria as well. So imagine another information that I'm sharing with you, that why people don't talk about Syria. Although I've talked a lot about Gaza and Gaza war, but I'm not comparing. One life loss is one too many, but 43,000 or 44,000 people are dead in Gaza, right? But in Syria, 500,000 Syrians are dead. No one talks about that. So this is politics, unfortunately. So the people in Gaza have more precious in terms of their life. Their life is more precious as compared to people in Syria. And then 500,000, Syrians are dead in past 13 years. 500,000, that's 500,000. So, and 6 million have fled. And I'm not underestimating the loss of life and the discrimination and the kind of oppression that even Palestinians are facing. But I'm just trying to put some sense into people as well, which is a hard thing to do. But especially the human rights organizations and all those who champion themselves as human rights, that if we are talking about Gaza, which I also talk about it, and I've been talking about it for 2 decades, and I try to always consider that the life lost in Israel is also the same as the life lost out of Israel as well. So we gotta make sure that there is sanctity of human life considered equally by everyone. But that's where the racism, discrimination, and all these bigotry type terms that come into the picture. So now they're preparing for a counter-offensive, the Syrian government, because Russian planes are bombing as we speak. Rebel forces who have taken over Aleppo. This is the second biggest city after Damascus in Syria. It's north of Damascus. If you look at the map of Syria, very close to the Turkish border as well. So this war has many proxies or people from many sides taking part. For example, Iran is involved, Turkey is involved, Russia is involved, and then Israel is involved, US is involved, and then Syria. So this is another area that Mr. Trump will have to face. Another key information that I wanted to share with you before we wrap up from the social media with regards to Zelensky. And let me just share this here, the aspect of Zelensky, because here Mr. Zelensky has said that I will give up Ukrainian territory to Russia to achieve peace. So this is a big one, because this is what Mr. Zelensky is saying, and that means he's also recognizing that this is not sustainable past January 20th in 2025, because new sheriff is in town, Mr. Trump, and let's see what happens. Another key information with regards to the Trump appointments, I would say the mother, not the mother, but the father-in-law of Trump's daughter, he has been nominated as the advisor on Middle East to Mr. Trump. His name is Mr. Mossad. Mr. Mossad is from Lebanon. He was born in Lebanon, and he is a billionaire as well. So that would be interesting as well. And then also Jared Kushner's dad. Yes, Jared Kushner. his son-in-law, his dad has been named as ambassador to France. So good for him. He's going to enjoy his time over there. So I just wanted to share this with you. And then last but not least, I would like to thank our advertisers. And first of all, aitinsurance.com. You can visit them, AIT Insurance, affordable insurance of Texas for your auto insurance needs, health insurance, commercial insurance, you name it, they got it. Call Affordable Insurance of Texas at 713-785-4000, 713-785-4000, your reliable insurance partner in Texas. Outside of Texas, you can connect with Affordable Insurance of Texas through their website, aitinsurance.com. Avesta Houston, especially if you love Persian and Middle Eastern cuisine, visit them. They are at Westheimer and Wilcrest, 11165 Westheimer Road, Houston, Texas, 77042. And avestahouston.com is their website. And when you mention Zishan on air, you'll get complimentary hot tea. You can visit avestahouston.com. And Avesta Persian Grill, they say that we serve Persian and Middle Eastern cuisine. And I really enjoy their food. They are really good in terms of serving these items. And also, I would like to tell you about Roop Sari Palace, especially for men. They have men's shalwar kameez, kurta pajama, traditional dresses, lots of varieties. A lot of people even ask me, and when I was on campaign, or sometimes they connect with me on social media, hey, where do we find these traditional men's dresses or some very special men's footwear, chappals or pishavris that we call them? Go to Roop Sari Palace. They are on Harvin in Hillcroft area, and for men they also have sherwani, hundreds of designs. And then for those of you who are outside of Houston area or live outside of Texas, roopsari.com is the website, roopsari.com, and that's very easy to remember, roopsari.com, or just visit them. And before I tell you about one of the offers here, which you can take advantage of as anyone, the first three people can take advantage of that. Let me give you the address of Roop Sari Palace. They are at 6655 Harvard Drive, and their number is 73278-7667. So Roop Sari Palace, visit them at Harvin. They are in the Hillcroft area, 6655 Harvin Drive, or just visit roopsari.com. And this information is really going to be helpful for the first three people. And I'm going to share this link online. So those of you who are listening, it would be difficult for you to write it down, but I'll still read it for you, to be fair. But those of you who are watching me live, the first three people who go to this link that I have displayed, you can take a screenshot or what have you on the social media screen. The first three people, they can send money. The first three people can send money legally, obviously, anywhere in the world without any transfer fees. This is a great opportunity. This is the app called Wise, W-I-S-E. You can download it, or you can go to wise.com, just like Wise, W-I-S-E.com. And then the URL, I'll read it in a second. But for those of you who are watching me on social media, go to this link and just take a screenshot, type it in your cell phone, any smart device you have, or on the website or Google or Safari, whatever browser you use. And the first three people, this is great opportunity for those of you who want to send money anywhere in the world, and you will not get any transfer fee, and the exchange rate is also really, really good. So the website address where the first three people can take advantage of this is https://wise.com/invite/I as Ireland, H as Henry, P as Parrot, C as Charlie, /Zishan I. Zishan is spelled as Zishan, ZEESHANI as Ireland, 194. So that's the website that I've read it for you, or just go to social media, https://wise.com/invite/ IHPC/Zishan I 194. So with that, I would like to basically sign off from the social media and continue to spread the word and share this with your friends and family. Very important information that has been shared with you with credible sources, and we'll also discuss this in Urdu and Hindi later in today's broadcast. So again, signing off from the social media, and I will continue this obviously right here with the traditional media on radio, 95.1 FM and 1460 AM. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, namaste, and hello everyone.